Alright, this is Vegeta8259 again, and this is the first part in my work in progress for, you guessed it, the Gundam Nataku. Now, the deal with this kit is that Master Grade Shenlong Gundam is coming out in March, and I think that it's highly likely that we will eventually get a Master Grade of Nataku here. I'm estimating sometime maybe around fall, because I counted it was 6 months between Master Grade Death Scythe EW and Master Grade Death Scythe Hell EW, so it'll probably be a similar time span for Shenlong and Nataku. But since I've already got the 1 to 100 scale high grade, what am I going to do with it? Well, I'm going to do a custom color scheme, and then when I get the Master Grade, I'll probably just paint it in the original colors. Alright, so here is Nataku, straight out of the box, snapped together, no paint, no decals, no stickers, no nothing, not even any panel lining. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing some minor cosmetic modifications to this guy, similar to what I did with my 1 to 100 scale Gundam X, some panel line removal, and just reshaping a few things, and then I'll be doing my custom color scheme. Now, basically, I guess I'll start from the head and work my way down. I'm going to try to lengthen this V-fin. If not, I'll probably just at least sharpen it up a little bit. And then I'll be filling in the backs of these green fins on the side of the head. I may even replace the head Vulcans with some metal beads. Now, these little thingies on the shoulders here, I'm going to have to drill that hole through. And then I think that's probably it for the torso, aside from panel line removal. Pretty much every part of the body is going to have some panel lines removed on it to make it look a bit more clean. I considered replacing the elbow like I did on Gundam X, but upon further thought about that, I decided to keep it because I like the dragon fangs displayed on the side like this, rather than to the back like so. So because these polycap elbows have the ability to rotate, I think I'm going to keep them around just so I can have the dragon fangs on the side like that. And even then you can still have some forward and back motion with the elbow joint even if it's rotated to the side. I might replace the hands if I can find some decent ones somewhere else. And this crotch piece right here is actually left over from Shenlong Gundam. Unfortunately for this kit they didn't give us the correct crotch piece, so I'm going to have to reshape that to make it more accurate to, well, the way it's supposed to look. And also on the skirt armor, I'm going to try my hand at doing some Pla-plating to add detail up under the skirt armor, because I really like it when like Japanese modelers and magazines do that to their kits. And I've always wanted to try it, and I think I'm going to make my first attempt with Nataku here. The thighs are pretty much going to be the same. I'm going to have to stiffen up these knee joints because they are kind of weak. The knee armor, I'm going to have to sharpen that up and shape it up and maybe make it just a little bit pointier. These little holes right here, I'm thinking about just punching that through and making like a little vent there. And the rest of the leg will probably be left the same, again, with the exception of removing panel lines. And then the feet, I'm going to shape those up and make those a little bit angular as well, because again, these feet are just left over from Shenlong Gundam, as is pretty much the whole leg. So that's about it for the modifications. Again, nothing really major, just cosmetic stuff to make them look a little bit cleaner. As far as the color scheme goes, I'm going to be going with a red color scheme. Basically, all of the dark green stuff I'm going to be changing to red, just a straight normal red. All of the light green parts I'm going to be doing in a kind of like a char pink, light red kind of color. All the yellow stuff I'm going to be painting gold, and these are red extensions for the dragon fangs. I'm probably going to do those in like a dark gunmetal color. And then the white and the black stuff will still be black and white, with the exception of this thing, which is supposed to be light green. So, I guess that's about it for my explanation of what I'm going to do. Now, let's take a look at some real work in progress. Alright, so I'm doing a little bit of Pla-plating on this kit. Pla-plate is short for plastic plate, or you can call it sheet styrene or whatever you want. I actually have two different types. This is some 1mm thick Pla-plate that I bought from the hobby store. But that's really, 1mm is better for scratch building. Like this crotch piece, I had to scratch build for Nataku, so to be a little bit more anime accurate. But for doing the backs of the skirt armors like this, 1mm is a bit too thick, so I'm using 0.5 mm. And you can go to the hobby store and buy 0.5 mm Pla-plate, but there's actually a trick that's much cheaper. You could just go get a for rent or for sale or no trespassing or whatever kind of sign you want. This costs 92 cents, and it is 8.5 by 11 inches of premium 1/2 mm Pla-plate. As you can see, I've cut some of it out already, and this is what I've been using to do the undersides of the armor. Now basically what I'm doing is I'll take a piece of Pla-plate, lay the skirt armor down on it, trace around it with a pencil, and then cut that out with my X-Acto knife. And then obviously the outside around this part isn't going to be the same shape as the inside, so you're going to have to just put it in there and trim around it and just keep trimming and trimming until you get it just the right size and shape to fit into the back of the skirt armor. And what I've done is I make two of them. As I do one, whoops, that's just solid like this. And then I'd make another one that's the exact copy. But on the second one, as you can see, I've taken a pencil and I've drawn some lines here where I'm going to cut out some parts. And then I've done this. I've just cut out some little areas, and then my light's too bright. You really can't tell that I've scribed panel lines on it, but I scribed a circle right there and just scribed a line here at the bottom. And then when you put one on top of the other, you get a nice multi-layered effect like so. And then you can just fit that up inside the back of the skirt armor. And here you can see kind of the finished product on this front skirt here. Again, if my light wasn't so bright and these parts weren't white, it'd show up better, but you'll be able to see it better when I actually finish getting this guy painted. So anyway, that's pretty much what I'm doing with the Pla-plate. And I'm going to be doing it to all of the skirt armor and on the undersides of the dragon fangs here. Alright, and after all of the Pla-plating and panel line filling and modifications and all that, this is the Nataku we are left with. So I guess, you know what, I think I'm actually going to disassemble this guy and show you part by part what I've done to him. Alright, let's see if I can get this head off. Okay. Starting with the head, as you can see, I sharpened the V-fin up quite a bit. It was a lot more rounded and just kind of looked like a 90s high grade, which it is. But I just used some sandpaper to sharpen that up, and now it looks much more like a master grade V-fin. I removed pretty much all of the little extraneous panel lines on the head, and I cut off the head Vulcans with my X-Acto knife, and I'm going to be using some little metal beads to replace those with after I finish painting and everything. And also I sharpened up these little spiky things on the bottom of the head here. And I think that's just about it for the head. The torso, I just removed some panel lines on this front light green chest piece. As you can see, like I filled in those little vents on the side there. I kind of squared this up a little bit, this little, I guess that's a cockpit hatch. Just flattened some of those edges. And that's pretty much it. Oh, I also drilled out the holes on these things that look like electrical plugs coming out of his shoulders. And that's about it for the torso. Now for the arms, I didn't do much to the arms, but I did do a bit to the dragon fangs. The arms, I pretty much just filled in the panel lines. As you can see, I got that white putty inside the panel lines, getting rid of a little bit of that detail. Again, did that on the arms. On the hands, at first I was going to use some other hands from another model kit, but I decided I'm just going to go ahead and use the high grade hand. And what I did is I just used some Pla-plate to make a little extra backing for the back of the hand. Not sure if I'm going to paint the entire hand gray or if I'm going to paint that backing red or not. Because remember, I am going with a red color scheme on this guy. Now the dragon fangs is where, well, the first part where I'm showing you here, where we can see a little bit of this Pla-plating. Right here is an exposed poly cap. And on the finished kit, that didn't really look all that good. So I just took 3 little pieces of Pla-plate and made a little cap for it. And I'll paint that gray when I get around to painting and make it look a little bit more mechanical. And on the dragon fang, I basically just removed some panel lines there. And up under here, I went in with Pla-plate and added some nice detail up under there, so it doesn't just look like a big hollow piece of plastic. And I'll be painting some of that gray when I get around to the painting process. Alright, for the waist section, actually, I'm going to take these legs off really quick so I can show you all of the skirt armor all at once. Now, I've already shown you this crotch piece right here I scratch built, and again, that's just to be more anime accurate, because the kit originally came with a crotch piece from Shenlong Gundam, which is a different shape than the way it's supposed to be, so had to make that myself. And again, on the outside of the skirt armor, filling in panel lines, and on the underside, all 6 pieces of skirt armor have got the Pla-plate detailing up under there. And when that's all painted gray and panel lined, after I get around to painting, I think that'll look quite nice, very master grade like. At least I hope so. On to the legs, lots of panel lines I had to fill on the legs. Pretty much anybody that's built a Gundam Wing or Gundam X kit from the 90s knows that they have a lot of panel lines. And let's see, I went in on this knee armor and just sanded it on the edges and on the front and just kind of made it a bit more sharp and a bit more squared off. It was kind of rounded originally, and I just kind of made that a little bit more angular. And likewise, I did the same thing on the feet. The feet were kind of rounded this way, and so I just went in and sanded those flat and got them to be very angular, much like the feet on the other Endless Waltz kits, because these legs are completely 100% from high grade Nataku, which was came out 2 years before Endless Waltz. Let's see, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, I also did a piece of Pla-plate on the back of the knee armor. Alright, I didn't do any modifications to the beam trident. Didn't really see a point in it, so it's going to be OOB. And I think that's just about it for Nataku. I guess all that's left now is to start painting this guy. Actually, no. I've got to fill in the seam lines first. As you can see, I still got to fill in the seam lines on the shoulders and on the head. I filled in the seam line on the torso, and I got to fill in the seam line on the lower leg and the feet, and I think that's about it. Oh, and the yellow parts of the dragon fangs as well. But I guess my next work in progress video will cover the painting process of this guy, so you guys can probably look forward to seeing that maybe in about a week or so. So anyway, that about does it for this video, and with that, I will see you guys next time.